I guess a lot of owners of the business that listen us here, they are not the growth hacker in the process. So someone they trust to give this opportunity to implement the growth hacker there. And what you say now is perfect. But I guess they have some problems to have a budget to test, and if you fail, you lose this money. The owners would like to have absolutely certain that will get right, and don't have some confidence with the lose money. This is part of the game. If you are a scientist, you have to lose some money. How the guys will convince the company to have this part of the budget, and how I and our owner will know that the guys is just learning, this is good, but when this is not right and he has lose my money, I have to shut down this operation, you know?
Yeah, so I think the key there is, if you excuse me, if you have people who test just a little bit, it's much better than, if you. The problem with most marketing teams today is that if they don't have good tracking in and they're not testing and trying things, maybe they're losing a lot of money and opportunity. And so you need to test small. If it works, you then put the big dollars there. So usually anything that you lose from testing, if you do it in the right way, isn't really an important amount of money for the business. It's just a small amount of money. And
do you believe there's some threshold like 1%, 10%, 5% of your total budget you should be okay with testing, like just treat it like a sunk cost, like 5% of your marketing budget is for testing, and it's okay if you lose that. So there's a number.
Yeah, I actually prefer 20% of the marketing budget to be for testing. Nice. But to keep in mind that even if it loses money, you don't lose 20% of your marketing budget. Maybe you invest, $100 and you get back $90, and so it's not something you want to invest in long term. But you actually only lost $10.
It's not like you investing for and getting zero back. Like maybe you got a negative ROI, but it's not.
And you
zero.
don't get it on the whole thing. If you are smart about testing, you're going to get, some of it's going to be positive and some of it's going to be negative. And then when you find the positives, then the goal is, how do I spend as much money on the positives as I can? And the other thing with growth is it's not always about spending money. That's one way to grow, but sometimes figuring out programs to get existing customers to bring in new customers, or even like search engine optimization so that you set your pages up in the right way and the search engines find you automatically. They want to find the right content that people are looking for. So paid is just part of the mix, but I think for paid to have 20% every month that's testing, that's how you end up figuring out how can you actually spend a lot more money with a very fast payback on investment. So that's the other piece that I think a lot of people get wrong, is that it's not just, did I get the money back or not? Was it a positive ROI? So ROI is a good thing, but it's how fast did I get that money back? And so when I'm investing, I'm trying to think about, what is my payback window? And if I'm saying I'm going to spend as much money as I can with a 3-month payback window, that's going to constrain where you can spend money effectively compared to if you say with a 1-year payback window. And it really depends on the business. Like if they have a lot of cash on hand, you can have a longer payback window. But if you're really tight on money and it's uncertain financial times, maybe you want to have a faster payback window. And so when I was at LogMeIn, our payback window was about 3 months. So every month we spent $1 million. 3 months later, we had $1 million back. By the 4th month, it was profit, everything afterwards. So, yeah.